Lighting in the still photography world has a pretty interesting trick that I think DPs are going to like. You're not going to want to miss this. In November, we're giving away a 24 70mm lens from Tamron, so get over to theslantlens.com and win it. Hi, this is JP Morgan. Today on Slanted Lens, we're going to talk about LEDs, not in the terms of what LEDs are out there, but an LED, a single light LED, which I think has a place in every DP's arsenal of lighting. And I'm going to tell you why. Coming from the still world, I'm used to a single light source light. We would put umbrellas on it. We would put softboxes on it. We would put grids on it. We would bounce it into a white card. You know, we would do all those things with one single light. In the film world, you got a Source 4 and you got a Joker and you got a Fresnel. It's just a different light for every job. It's taken a while for the market to slowly embrace those big panels. But when you move to a single LED, it opens up a lot of opportunity for you on set because a single LED allows you to modify it in multiple different ways. So we've got Chelsea Wargo here with us. Beautiful model, which will make explaining this and showing it very easy. So first off, we're going to start with a 7-inch reflector. The reason you start with a 7-inch reflector is because that reflector becomes an amplification of your single light, because all the light bounces around that reflector and you gain a stop, sometimes almost 2 stops. We've got this quick transition, looks very pretty. So look right into the light here, into the camera here, and there's that 7-inch reflector. Now, of course, I can do like we've always done. I can pan this around, or I can pan it off from the side of her face, but that gets into a whole lighting thing that's really not what we're talking about today. But if you're interested in those things, go to the laws of light and we can talk about different types and quality of light and how to use a single light to light the background and the foreground. But anyway, we're going on to the next thing. So that's a 7-inch reflector. This 7-inch reflector has a groove in the front of it. These are still photography grids. I've used these for probably 25 years. So I can take this light now and I can change the area of coverage. I'm going to go to 40 degrees. So I can basically completely kill the light on the background and just give me a nice little pool on her face there. It's getting a pool onto the front of her blouse. So there's that 40-degree grid on the 7-inch reflector. I can go down to a 10-degree grid. Now I have hardly any light on her blouse at all. Let's now go to the other extreme, and that is, let's make this light as soft as we possibly can. So I'm now going to go to a shoot-through umbrella. This is a large umbrella and it's going to give us a very soft, beautiful look. It's going to light my background almost as much as my foreground. The light has in the yoke a spot for this umbrella to run through. So we can start with just a bouncing umbrella, which is a nice look, big umbrella. Now if you look at the quality of that light on her face, the transition between the highlight side and the shadow side, it falls off much softer. It kind of moves right around her cheek and starts to let her features look a lot softer, a lot more pretty. So that's just bouncing into an umbrella, which is a really pretty light. I'm at 2.8 at 160 ISO. I mean, I could easily kick this up to 320 or 640 and have a little better stop if I wanted to. So there's plenty of light in this thing. I'm only at about, what am I at? Yeah, I'm at 50%, so I'm by far not at the upper end of this light's capability when it comes to, I can come way brighter. So this is a Dynalite's 30 by 40 softbox. That 30 by 40 gives you the ability to get the light around and start to see on the other side of the shadow side of her face, which is really probably one of the mainstays for lighting because it gives you a controlled area. And if you see on her face, you just see a great transition on Chelsea's face. Very, very pretty transition. You get a soft move from left to right. Softbox is just great because you have that area that you can cut light off with. Put a grid on this, it's going to cut the light even more, which I love with these kinds of things. Wonderful way to light when you're doing video interviews and things. So now we put on the 47-inch parabolic by Dynalite. These are beautiful lights, and the reason I like them so much is because you get it recesses back, the head is recessed back, so you get a soft but directional look up front. Because the head's back so far, your angle of view is cut down, and you can put either a baffle in the front of it. It's got a baffle inside of it. I like the baffle inside and just let the front be open. It's not that hard to control this light because the strobe head is so deep in there. It allows you to have that front edge of the box can cut the light a little easier, and it gives you a lot more control with the light as you feather it away and on your subject matter. So this is a great little device that Aperture has come up with. It's called a Fresnel lens on a Bowens mount. Well, that's what I just called it. It's a Fresnel lens on a Bowens mount. That's what it is. A Bowens mount is simply a modifier mounting system that still photography has used forever. It's a bayonet mount on the front of the strobe head, and in this case, a bayonet mount on the front of the LED. All your different modifiers have that same Bowens mount, which makes it just really quick to put them in and snap into place and to change your modifier. So if I put this on here, I get a 45-degree, very tight look on her face. I don't lose any light hardly at all when I put this on. If you take a look at the difference there, I've still got major amount of light, so I'm going to dial that way down. That's at 45 degrees. This will go out to, I think, 12 degrees. So I'm going to really start to be able to pool this light as I bring it out. And you see the difference there. I go out to 12 degrees and it's cut down. You see how it's come off from her blouse. As I put this up, I can keep this right on her face there, so it just kind of cuts off just below her neck. It's starting to get that great little kind of film noir look, which is so beautiful. But this also has a 7-inch recess in it, so you can put the grids on it. So at this point now, I can start adding grids to this. But that just gives you a way to focus the light, and it's a little more focused. It's going to give you a better kind of stream of light through a window if you want to get it into smoke. You'll be able to see those shafts. It's going to give you a much stronger, more focused light with this Fresnel adapter on that Bowens mount, which turns us into another type of light, which is really a fascinating concept. So there you have a single point source LED. Now there's all kinds of other single point source LEDs in Fresnel housings. There's a lot of different products out on the market out there, but for me, this is the first one that kind of crossed the bridge, the 300D, that was powerful enough that I can modify it. And not, you know, when you put a modifier on it, just takes all the light away and it becomes useless on set. This is powerful enough that it becomes useful on set when you modify it. It's also small and compact and gives me the ability to use a lot of different modifiers on it. And I just see this as the light that kind of crosses the bridge where it's finally going to become a real workable light on set for DPs. Something I think as a DP you should check out and figure out, because I think it's very valuable for you. So what are your thoughts, Chelsea?
The softness of the modification of the light is in direct proportion to the inverse square law.
Exactly. Keep those cameras rolling.
Keep on clicking.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. And while I'm doing my close-up, why don't you subscribe to the Slanted Lens? And then you can do your close-up too.